Hello everyone, this is the recording for the invitations assignment. In the invitations assignment, it actually starts out with work done previously in section 1, part C, editing HTML. So if I've already done all of this, I've went to my Unit 2 folder, I created a folder called invitations. Inside invitations, I created a folder called images. And then I copied the link image, so I went like this, I click that, and there's this link image. So then I right click, save picture as. Now go to my desktop, to my images folder. So here I am, just like you will have portfolio, unit 2, invitation, images, and I already have it in there, but I'm going to save it again. So that's the name, save. So now I have this cowboy image saved in my invitation images folder. So I've done those things. So I did not change the file name, then I hit save, close the window and open Notepad. Then it asked me to copy all of this code into Notepad. I'll show you that I've done that. So I'll open up Notepad, and you can see that I've done that. Now what happens when you do this, the code's going to be all messed up, meaning that it's going to be like all on one line. You have to go through and fix it. So I went in and I simply hit enter where I think there needs to be a little bit of space to see things better. So what you want to do, once yours comes in to your Notepad, it's going to be kind of garbled up. But what you want to do is have Notepad open and have this text open, what you copied, then just go back and forth to get yours to look like that. And I like it to look like that because then I can explain things to you. It's much easier for me to see things. So let's go ahead and examine what this web page does. And this is really important because if you don't know what these components are on this web page, this HTML coding, you're going to have trouble. So let's take a look here. First, there's the HTML. Every page has to start with that. And then if we look down below, we will see a corresponding closing HTML. And then of course you have the heading command and the title. The title is what shows up in the browser window. We'll see that in a minute. And now this is using CSS styles. So you have that, and then these are the 4 styles it has. There's a style for text. You can see that that style is Arial, size 36, etc. Then it has a background color style. Then it has a cited text style and a table background style. So those styles are set up already. Now when we get to the invitations assignment, we're going to be changing some of these codes right here to make ours look different than theirs. Now the last thing to show you are a couple of things. In the invitation assignment, we're going to change the image to a picture that we want. So we're going to have to pay attention right here, because right now what this does is this says go find the picture in the images folder inside the invitations folder called CLR Bronco. So it does that there. And then the text that the person puts in is right there. And then finally there's a little bit more text down below here. So if we go to view this in a web browser, I'll show you what this page looks like. So I'll open up a web browser, then File, Open, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my desktop, to my portfolio folder, Unit 2, Invitations folder, and there's the file called index.html, which we were supposed to save that one as. Open it, and here you can see the file, the web page that's created with that. And I can go up to View, Source, and see all the coding there. I can see all that coding. Now, the nice thing about web pages is that even though I can see that coding, I can also copy that coding and I could paste that into my my notepad. So this is the coding that makes this page work like it does. So I wanted to show you that. So what I've worked through now, I'm going to just minimize all this so we can get back to it. I've done what this has said. So I copied the code, I saved the file as index.html in my invitations folder in Unit 2, then I viewed the web page and I can see what all that coding does, correct? So I finished this part. So you're going to do that first. Then we're going to go to next. And this talks about zipping. So to zip that, you can see the directions up here. So if I go to right here and I want to zip my Unit 2 folder, I just right click, send to compressed folder, and look at that. There's the Unit 2 zip, and then I could submit that to the teacher. I'm going to delete that. You can see how that works. So that's the zipping. And here's a little bit video about zipping too, but I just showed you. Okay, now the invitations assignment. This is where you need to pay a lot more attention. So we're going to open up the invitation that we had in Notepad. So I already have it right here. Of course, it was called index.html. So I already have it all right here, don't I? So I open that. You're going to change the theme from a cowboy to something you would like. Stay school appropriate. You're going to change the colors for the page background, the table, change the wording from the invitation, put your own picture in, etc. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go ahead and put my own picture in. So I'm going to go to Google and images. I'm going to search on the word lion. And here's a picture of a lion. Now watch how I do this. So I click on it once and I get it right here, but I'm still not to the page where the lion is. So now over here on the right I click full size image. So now I have the picture and I have the exact URL up here. So I right click on the lion, save picture as, and I'm going to save it to my invitation images folder. Unit 2, invitation, images, and I'm going to go ahead and change the name of this. Lion laying down. And actually the JPG is going to go in there automatically, so I'm not going to type it again. So lion laying down is what I'm calling it, all one word, all small letters. Save. So now I've saved that picture. Now the other thing I need to do is I need to get the URL. So right here at the top I'll click on that blue, then I right click, copy, because I need to say where that picture came from. And then I'm going to go right down here. I'm going to put the lion picture came from, and I put that in. I'm going to hit File, Save As, and let me go back to the assignment to see what they wanted us to save it as. So they want us to save it as invite2.html. So go back to my notepad, and I want to make sure, okay, I'm in the invitation folder, and index2.html. That's what I'm saving it as. I'll hit Save. Now check this out. I'm going to go view that. So I get a browser window open, then File, Open, Browse, and I'm going to go find my invitations folder. There's index2.html, open, okay, and now look down here. There's the text I put in. Of course I need to fix my spelling right here, but here's the text I put in. Now I see that I need to fix my spelling, and the thanks Shelley, I don't need that anymore. So let me go back to my web page where I'm working, fix my spelling, and I'll take out the thanks Shelley stuff. I don't need that. And I'll do File, Save, and of course it's saving as index2.html. It shows it right there at the top. Then if I go back to my, whoops, I don't want that. If I go back to here, all I have to do is hit refresh, and look, it brought that index2.html, it brought that in here again. So now I see the changes I made. So that's one of the basic changes. So I'm going to leave this one open because now every time I make changes in that notepad document and I save the changes, I just have to refresh my invitation to see what I'm doing. So let's go back to the assignment. Now it says change the colors to the background, the table background, and the text. Okay, so I'm going to go to colors. So I'll click right here and see it opens up this color page. So I want to put some black writing in. So check this out, really easy to put black writing in. So I'm going to highlight all of that and hit Control C for copy. Then I go to my notepad. Maybe I want the title text to be black. So I'll go right here, Control V to paste it in. I hit File, Save. It's saving as index2.html. And what I've just done is I've said anything that is called title text, make it black. So right down here, here's title text, hey partner, etc. And I'm going to have put hey students. I'm having a party so you can meet my new pet lion. So I'm changing that. So now I'll do File, Save, because I want to save it as index2.html. Now I'm going to go back to browser. Of course, this is the one that we had before where I'd made those basic changes. Now watch this and see, here's the old text that was in there, right? Now check it out. If I hit refresh, look, changed to my black text, and it made the new color, or made the new text, and it, the new text I typed in, and it made the new color. Now I need to put a new picture in and change this table background and the blue background here. So I'm going to minimize that. So now I'm right here, and I'm going to go ahead and change the picture. Now I know that mine was lion laying down. Lion laying down .jpg. I'll hit File, Save. Now I'll go back to my invitation, and this cowboy should change to a lion when I refresh. Look at that, it changed to a lion when I refresh. So this is my index2.html page now. Going along pretty good, isn't it? So let's minimize this. Now let's go back to the assignment and see what else it says. Page background, table background, and text. So page background, table background, and text. So let's go here. So let's find page background. Right here, see where it says BG color? That's page background. So we need to go in here. Here's BG color. That's where it calls it out. So we want to change this color right here. Let's pull up that color page. Maybe I want my page background to be purple, blue violet. So I'm going to do that, highlight that, Control C for copy, go back to my notepad. So my page background is right here. Right here is page background. Control V. So File, Save, then go back to my invitation that I'm working on. Refresh. Now I have the blue page background. Let's see what happens. Now I have a purple page background. See how that happened? Now I have two more things to change. This yellow for the table I need to change, and that might be all. So I'm going to minimize that. So now the table. See right here it says table BG. That means table background. And this is what it is right now. It's that yellow. So I'm going to go back to my color box. Maybe I want to make that table background this ugly green. Chartreuse. Control C. Go back to this document. I know that Here's table background right here. So I'll take out that color, paste in the new table color, and then I'll do File, Save, go back to my invitation. Remember, table background is yellow right now, so I'll just refresh. Now I have that chartreuse in there. So you can see all the changes that I've made. Now I'm going to do one more thing because this text over here is a little bit big, so I'm going to change that text. So I'm going to go back to Notepad, even though it doesn't say to do it. And so this says 36 pixels. I'm going to change that to 18. Then I'll hit File, Save, go back to my invitation, refresh, and there you go. You can see I changed that text. Oops, I made a mistake. It says you can met my new pet lion, so I need to fix that, don't I? So I'm going to go right here. You can meet my new pet lion. So I need to do File, Save. Then I'll go back to my invitation, refresh, and now it says meet my new pet lion. So I'm going to go back to the assignment. Okay, I changed the page background, the table background, and the text. Change the size and type of font. Oh, I haven't done that, so I need to change that. Change the wording in the invitation. I did that. Put in a new image. So I need to change the size and type of font. So I'm going to go back here, and let's say I want my title text, I want it to be Times New Roman. So I'll do Times New Roman. Let's see if that changes it. So here I am. Then I'll refresh. And yeah, look, it changed it. Times New Roman text over here now. So you can see how this stuff can be done. Just keep your documents open and just go back and forth between them. You have to do some refreshing. As you go along, you do some refreshing, but it's really easy to see all the changes. So again, I'm going to go back to the assignment, change the wording in the invitation to make it a party for you. I did that. The image, we did that. Replace the citation with the web address of your image. I did that. Replace the image with the new image. I did that. I've been saving it as I've been going along with that name. I made sure everything looks nice. Then you zip the Unit 2 folder and you send it to me. You put it in the Dropbox. So I've done all of this work, haven't I? And really all I've done is I've taken what's already been created and then made changes to it. And you'll learn how to do all of these things, how to create these automatic commands. That's called CSS coding. You'll learn that. Now the other thing I can do is right up here. It says, howdy webmastering students. This is Mr. H, so I'm going to change that. So now I'm going to do File, Save, so I save that again. Go back to my invitation, and this is what is meant by title. So I'm going to refresh. So now if I look at this, see up here at the top, and you can't see it the way I'm looking at this browser, but now this up here says, actually let me go back to where you can actually see it. I'm going to change this to right here. For Mr. H, I'll say that. So File, Save. So now if I go back to my invitation, refresh, and I can see up here, that's the title. So that's under the page title command. So that's right here. That's where title comes in. So that's the title that shows up in the browser. So anyway, to wrap this up, I've done all this work. Then the last thing I need to do is I'll go right here. I know that in Unit 2, I have my invitation folder and I have my index, original index, and my index 2 are right here. Whoops. So I know those are in there. So now I want to go to Portfolio and I'm going to zip. So right click, send to compressed zip folder. And now this Unit 2 zip I send to Mr. H. Now the reason you have to zip is so then everything in here comes to me, because that's the only way I can go into invitation and I can see the folders, and that's the only way the pictures end up traveling with your folders. So everything must be in the exact place for it to work right. That's the biggest problem, student, you're going to have, is that you're not saving things in the right place, so then they don't show up when you send them to me. So jumping back to the assignment, I'm going to close that out. We don't need that anymore. So I know I finished it. Back to the assignment. I did all of this. I can see how I'm going to be graded on it. And then I zip that to Mr. Harrison, and I move on to the next section. So that's it for this assignment. It's easy to do as long as you stay organized and follow the exact directions. Okay, goodbye.